tough and flexi tough wires are also uh, good. Joss presentation was presented by Mr. Sarath Kumar and Amim Sehbaz. It was also a very nice presentation and and very elaborative. Joist has four verticals: material handling, um, C, EPD, and EPC division. But in electrical field, in 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 electrical field, Joist is known for um, measuring and testing of the equipments. Mm. Primarily, it is supplied of the maker make and safety. This testing, uh, uh, safe and reliable operation is the basic need of of any plant operation, and this testing and measuring equipments play a very vital role in safe and reliable operation. Uh, Joyce supplies a wide range of testing and measuring products like for the testing of for the testing of transformers, ESB equipments, switchboards, switches, cables, etc. They are also supplying the partial discharge monitor of GIS. They are supplying and their product uh, as they are supplying of cable fault locator, oil testing kit, 10 delta kit, mm, and partial discharge is, all are widely used in the industry. Joist is also using uh, environmental environmental simulation um, and sound vibration measurement also. Presentation of CNS by Mr. Manoj Adak was very elaborative. CNS is a known name in the in the LV switchgear. In in the LV switchgear, and they manufacture the all all the LV LV equipment from ACB, MCB, MCC contactors, bus bars, isolator, ISO bars, etc. And also PCC and MCC. Closed door operation feature of their ACB panel um, is very good. One thing I one thing I will like to add that as India is the fastest growing economy in the world, having growth rate of 7 to 8%. Um, Hence, there is a huge potential in the power sector in the years to come. To meet the power demand, electrical equipment manufacture, uh, starting from cables, transformers, switchboard, EHV equipments, automation PLC, have have to play a very vital role. Have to play a very vital role in man in manufacturing the product. Emphasis shall be on innovation, i- i- on innovation and cost effective and safe and reliable product. With this, uh, with this, I once again thank all all the speakers and all the participants uh, participating in this conclave.
Thank you, Sri DK Singh sir, Senior GM, for your insights on this session. Uh, I would request Sri DK Singh sir to come to the central stage to facilitate our speakers of this session. Sri Shakti Shukla. Sri L. Sharat Kumar and Sri Amim Sabaz. Sri Manoj Adak. I would like to request Sri Sujit Mandal sir, Senior GM Instrumentation, to come over to the dais for facilitating Sri DK Singh and Sri Dushyant Sharma. Sri Sujit Mandal, Senior GM Instrumentation. Sri Dushyant Kumar. Thank you, Sujit sir. Thank you, Chairman, for the session and moderator. And thank you, all the speakers. It has been quite an intriguing and engaging session for innovation and automation in power sector. So, continuing with our presentation over here, we have come down to a special session on sustainability and smart solution for metal and mining. That includes perspectives on green steel ratings, and this will be delivered by Mr. T.K. Sahu, former Director, Commercial Sale. It is my privilege to introduce Sri Tushar Kanti Sahu, a veteran of the steel industry with over 4 decades of distinguished service, having started his career with SAIL in 1979 and later serving in leadership role with global steel majors. He has contributed extensively in areas of marketing, procurement, strategy, and international trade. In this special session on sustainability and smart solution for metal and mining, Sri Shahu will share his perspective on green steel rating and its alignment with CBAM model, offering insights into the way forward for the industry. So please join me in the warm welcoming of Sri Tushar Kanti Sahu. Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure, sir. The stage is yours, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So this is a topic which is a departure from what has been happening, what has been the main theme of this conference since morning. But in any case, this is a very important topic because steel is the backbone of every industry here. Those who are here, they know they have to work with steel. Not only steel, there are many industries which are now affected by what is called pollution, greenhouse gas emission, or more commonly known as CO2 emission. So, whether you like it or not, that you have to be very concerned about greenhouse gas emission in your industry going forward, because India as a party to the Paris agreement of 2015 has committed to become a net zero emitter by 2070. Even though India is not the main cause of pollution in the world after the industrialization of this of the world, but still then they have committed to net zero emissions of greenhouse gas by 2070, even though Paris Agreement has set the date as 2050. Nonetheless, Indian government has taken a lot of initiative to reduce or contain greenhouse gas emission. And I am here to inform you that it's a matter of pride that whatever they had, see, even though the end goal of 2070 is to make it zero emission target, but there are uh, five, 5 yearly targets within the Paris Agreement. So whatever Indian government had committed to achieve in terms of greenhouse gas emission by 2030, it has been achieved by 2025. So that is a big achievement. I think you should be aware that there is a lot of effort going on in India how to reduce carbon dioxide and other emitting gases. So let me come to this topic, which is directly connected to greenhouse gas emission, that is CO2 gas emission in the steel industry. As you know, India is the second largest producer of steel in the world, producing around 140 million tons of steel and consuming around 130 million tons of steel every year. Even though steel intensity in our manufacturing or construction is still not as per world standard, but we are growing. So we expect that steel consumption will increase in an exponential way in the next future as we grow more manufacturing base in India. So let me inform you that steel and cement are one of the biggest polluting industries in the world. In Indian steel industry is estimated to be emitting around 12% of the entire pollution in India. Worldwide average is 9%. So it is a matter of concern how to reduce this emission in the steel industry and other industry. There are 9 basic industries in the world which contributes 98% of CO2 emission. So steel is one of them. Now, every country is coming out with their national standards how to reduce and contain CO2 emission in the steel industry. And this is a model which is called CBAM model, which is carbon emission standards set by European Union, which is called carbon border adjustment mechanism. That is the name they have given. And why it is important to us? Because we as a country are exporting almost 1 million tons of steel and steel products to Europe. And if this mechanism, which is to come into effect from 1st January 2026, will become a barrier for Indian steel industry and steel product export to European Union. So it is very important for you people to understand what is this mechanism. It should not come to you as a surprise when it is implemented from 1st of January next year. So this is called carbon border adjustment mechanism. You can say it is in nutshell, it is a carbon tax. If the CO2 emission, embedded emission in steel, which you are using, or which for making steel products, or even you are sending steel as it is to European Union, if it is at a higher level, then you have to pay equivalent tax, which will make it very uneconomic for you to compete with others. So your exports is likely to fall. So I'll go forward. CBAM is a European Union policy designed to put a price on carbon emissions on certain imported goods, effectively creating a carbon tariff on imports like iron and steel, cement, aluminium, fertilizers, and electricity. These are the industries which will come under CBAM in the European Union. So, if you are exporting cement, aluminium, fertilizer, or any other things, electricity cables, or anything to European Union, this CBAM will come into effect, and this rule will be applicable. It aims to prevent carbon leakage. What they mean by carbon leakage is that CO2 emission beyond a certain prescribed limit, if it goes beyond that, then this leakage happens, where companies relocate production to other countries. Suppose CBAM is now applicable to European Union, their steel industries are 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 required to follow this rule. So what the importers will do, that they will buy imported goods instead of buying locally goods. So that is what it is calling carbon leakage. So the companies will relocate production to other countries with less stringent environmental regulation to avoid carbon costs and encourage global decarbonization by aligning the carbon price of imports with that of domestic goods within the EU emission trading system. So it's a little technical, but in summary, that you have to pay a carbon tax. Suppose you are exporting your iron and steel per ton, let's say price $600. You, if your CO2 emission is at a higher level than prescribed by European Union, you may pay off. As per the current calculation, Indian exporters are likely to pay $250 per ton as carbon tax for exporting to Europe. So that is the difference, which makes it very, very uneconomic. So CBM acts as a carbon tax or import duty on specific goods based on their greenhouse emissions. Reporting and payment. Importers of affected goods will need to report the emissions associated with their imports and eventually purchase CBM certificates to cover the carbon price, mirroring EU's energy trading system. See, I am talking of energy trading system in EU. For your information, in Indian government has come out with notification this year for Indian energy trading system. This has been notified in the month of July by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency of the Ministry of Environment and I think Forest. It comes under that, I think. So please go through because it covers lot of it. Even electrical equipment is covered under that. This energy trading system and the carbon tax, which is not mandatory right now, which is recommendatory, but this is going to be mandatory shortly, maybe within a year or two. And this notification has come in July 2025. Please go through that. Indian carbon trading system, carbon credit trading system, and ETS, energy trading system. There are two methods of taxing higher emitters. One is carbon trading system, which is called carbon tax. Another is energy trading system, which is called ETS. So please go through that. So if you have to pay tax, carbon tax, Indian exporter of steel and steel product, you will be required to report CO2 emissions level embedded in its exported steel to UA importers. That is the CBAM is to serve as an essential element of the European Union's toolbox for meeting the objective of climate neutral European Union at the latest by 2050. As I said, India has committed to carbon neutral by 2070, but European Union has committed to 2050 target. So that's what it's saying in line of Paris Agreement. CBAM is expected also to contribute to promoting decarbonization in third countries. It's important for Indian steel company who traditionally export to European countries. CBAM seeks to by ensuring equivalent carbon pricing for imports and domestic products. So they will impose an import tax which will nullify the importers' price advantage and it will be at par with domestic prices. That is the mechanism. India export, as I said, India exports about 1 million tons every year. With effect of January 26, CBAM regulation, including carbon tax, will be imposed for exports to Europe. Certification as per CBM provisions will be mandatory. Achieving the CBM 5-star rating will reduce the carbon tax to the minimum, thereby giving competitive base to Indian exporters in the new market. So this is the background of my presentation. I'll come to how CIDC has taken a pioneering step to guide, handhold, and help Indian industry who are producers of iron steel and are products made out of iron and steel, especially electrical equipment, which requires certification even before going exporting to European Union. So this is a pioneering initiative aligns with the global push towards the decarbonization and mirrors the intent of CBM contextualizing for Indian conditions. The green steel rating model, which has been launched by CIDC, being implemented for the first time in India, is designed to assess and recognize steel manufacturers demonstrating excellence in sustainable practices. Key evaluation domain includes high recycled content usage, including use of renewable energy, strong compliance with regulatory norms, responsible water waste and emission management, leading to zero waste situation in your manufacturing facility, and commitment to ESG governance and innovation. These are the four pillars under which this rating, green steel rating, will be judged and a certificate will be given. Since Government of India has recently notified new laws to regulate GSD emissions for 9 most polluting, it's imperative for steel industry to initiate action to reduce carbon emissions urgently. GSD reduction targets. Reduce emission intensity. This is the Government of India target. Reduce emissions intensity by 45% below 2000 level. Updated NDC. What is updated NDC? What is NDC? It is nationally determined contributions to the greenhouse emission. So in the Paris Agreement, Government of India has committed to a certain level of reduction in CO2 and other greenhouse gas emissions. So that is called NDC. So that is what it is saying. Whatever their commitment, they have to achieve, reduce by 40% of that target by 2030, net zero by 2070. CIDC endeavors is to help handle and guide in achieving the CO2 emissions target set by Government of India in individual steel and cement industries. By helping achieve CBAM and GOI set standards, the companies will be able to compete not only in export market but also domestic market effectively. See, ultimately, whether you like it or not, you have to align your manufacturing facility and the input material purchased in such a way that embedded emissions in those materials are reduced to a level as notified by various governments. If you are in India, you have to follow Indian government rules. If you are in the export market, you have to follow the export rules of the export countries. So that is the meaning of this. Now, Indian government has come out with a successive notification of various laws concerning greenhouse emission and CO2 emission levels, standards, and how to regulate it, who will monitor it, who will certify it. It has all come during last 2-3 years. Latest, I told you, in July they have notified what will be the carbon tax on emitters. So green steel has been defined by Ministry of Steel in terms of percentage of greenness of the steel which is produced from a steel plant with CO2 equivalent emission intensity less than 2.2 tons of CO2 emission per ton of finished steel. Based on the greenness, the steel shall be rated as follows: 5-star for emission lesser than 1.6 ton of CO2 per ton of finished steel, then 4-star, 3-star. Steel with emission intensity higher than 2.2 ton of CO2 will not be called green steel. The Government of India introduced an amendment in 2022 to the Energy Conservation Act 2001, providing a legal basis for the establishment of carbon credit trading system, which I spoke, and issuance of carbon credit certificates. In July 24, the government adopted detailed regulations for the compliance mechanism under the CCTS. It will take the form of an intensity-based baseline and credit system, initially covering entities from 9 energy-intensive industrial sector, which includes steel, cement, electrical equipment, fertilizer, road, construction, etc. There are 9 sectors in that. So this is basically just to give you an awareness about what is happening to reduce the carbon dioxide emission and greenhouse emission in the world, as well as initiatives and actions and notifications that have been taken by Indian government, so that when you are doing anything concerning your industry, you are aware that there is a commitment by the industry to reduce the carbon dioxide. So that is all I wanted to bring to your notice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Uh, it was an insightful address for greenhouse gases. Your perspective on sustainability, smart solution for metals and mining, and the green steel rating aligned with the CBAM model have given us not only clarity on global trends, but also a roadmap for how the Indian steel sector can gear up for low carbon future for 2070 and so as to say 2050. Thank you so much, sir. I would request Sri MSSN Murthy, Senior GM Electrical in charge, to facilitate Sri Shahu. Sir, please would you come to the center of the stage? Shri Tushar Kanti Sahu, former Director, Commercial Sale. Thank you so much, sir, for your insight. Now, going ahead in this special presentation, uh, our next presenter is our well known Dr. Pierre Sarup, Director General of CIDC. He will be briefing upon the We Walk initiatives, a crucial step in skill development for our future workforce. He is no new to the introduction in this August assembly, but I would like to put in a few points that he has been the recipient of several national and international awards, including the Golden Peacock and EPC Award. Dr. Sarup continues to guide the industry with vision, innovation, and reforms. So let me again have the privilege of welcoming Sri Priyaranjan Sarup on the stage. So the stage is yours.
You need a mic or give me a hand mic. That is better. Okay, I'll just walk through. Yeah. Maybe that's- Thank you so much, Mekon, and all the officers who are here. And my special thanks to all the participants in the show that was organized today. We are almost near the end of this particular deliberation, and I would like to tell you a few things which you can take home back. Many of you are representing various corporate houses, various companies, and when you get back home, someone definitely is going to ask you whether it was worthwhile to be there or not. So you should be carrying few things in your own hands. And I'm going to be summarizing and telling you what exactly you need to do, where exactly the problems are, and how exactly we can solve these problems. We have to understand that the basic problem today is not lack of technology, it is not lack of materials, it is not lack of any kind of products that we are talking about. In fact, all the global systems that work somewhere, they always come there. But the limited point here is that how much of it we really bring to the execution or implementation level. That is where the problem lies. How can we take it to the implementation level? A very simple solution. Believe you me, life should never be complicated. It should be understood very simply. And I am going to tell you the simple solution. You cannot be a person who will go out and sell the concept to the world. You need lots and lots of people who will go out and start speaking about certain good practices that you need to adopt. And you should be having a cadre of very, very strong, motivated persons who should be able to do that. They are not only going to be working in your corporate houses, helping you to spread the news, but also to deliver the services the way you have designed them to be. You may have a wonderful system, but if it is not implemented properly, nothing is going to work. So, the first important thing that all of you have to consider is that we should carry forward with this discussion and dialogue. And there are plenty of problems that I had been discussing with our friends here. One of them came just now to me and he was asking about certain things. I said, I'm going to be giving you some solution. So, the first solution I give you is to prepare the people. And to prepare the people, there is a very novel program which CIDC has launched. This is a wonderful program, and basically it focuses at bulk of our boys and girls, especially the young ones, to get the education and to get the qualifications while they are working. So we have designed a system by which we pick up the boys who have absolutely no technical background. We take them, we make them work in your factories, we make them work in your systems, with your systems, and we also grant them a degree which is known as Bachelor of Vocation. This is probably for the first time that it is being done, but this is going to be meeting the requirements of people. What exactly this cadre of people will do? This cadre of people will not only be able to implement your plans properly, but also will be able to spread the good news about the kind of good work that you are doing. I am very confident each one of you has been doing good work. So, my congratulations anyway. So, that's my first message to you. The second message I will give you, that we have been listening to everybody here who had been talking about various quality checks and vigilance kind of situation and things like that. But here is a very vital question. Do we have the infrastructure with us? Do we have enough number of organizations who are actually certifying that the product that you have is a good product? Answer is big capital no. People are not having those kind of things. So therefore, you have few laboratories who are working like in a realm of monopoly, and you go back to them. They might take 6 months, 8 months, sometimes even couple of years. Look at the standards that we have laid down. The standards are basically taking almost like 3 to 4 years' time before they are prepared. So, where exactly are we going to be competing in the global market? So, there is a need of certain modifications. So, the second thing I will tell you that no, that's okay. That's okay. There is a second thing I would like to suggest, that we have more than enough infrastructure, but we don't exploit and we don't utilize that infrastructure. Can you imagine? In India, we have more than 4,800 engineering colleges. Some of them are of great repute, like IIT. Then you have NITs, and you have many of the universities. Each of the university or college to run engineering faculty, we are all engineers. They need at least about 15 to 20 laboratories there in various disciplines. They need scientists. They need the people who are working there in the laboratory. Do they have them? No. All they have is the vacant buildings. Who's going to be having people there? You are all going to be there because you are getting the bite. That's a fact of life. You suffer. We will empower them. There's an organization which has been named as the Apex Agency, established by the Planning Commission, Government of India. We have certain mandates. And one of the mandate is that we are going to be setting up standards and making implementation plan. Many of you may not know, but it was my council which basically went into massive skill development programs almost 27 years ago. Today we have more than a million and above number of people who are getting employment. They are working. Many of them are now on the verge of retirement. One of the examples I will tell you, we also help to solve the problems of various state governments. When Manrega scheme was brought out, all the state governments were very much worried as to how exactly are they going to be making the kind of measurements and make payment to the beneficiaries. Otherwise, tomorrow there will be audit, there will be CBI, CVC, they'll be running after them. Aren't we afraid of it in all PSUs and government departments? So to make it authentical, they invited us. And believe you me, in a short period of about 9 months, we gave them 1,25,000 Rozgar Sahayaks. The pedagogy, the methodology, and the need to learn was articulated by us. Followed by that, many other state governments sought our help. Now, this is the time that we want to do it for industry. For this, following the regulations, the diplomas, degrees will only be issued by recognized universities. And today we have 6 universities in our fold in different states. You met Professor Singh this morning, who's the Vice Chancellor of Jharkhand Technical University. There are more than 75 colleges. I am meeting them tomorrow. And what I have promised to each of the university is to set up the industry park in the campus that will not only give you the interactions with the research and educational institutions, but also help you to find out your market in that particular state and in that region. The journey has started. We are now taking it to IIT Patna also. You heard that. Very soon, number of southern states are also going to be joining hands. We are going to be doing it. So I am giving you the next item for action. Register yourself as a vendor with CIDC. Almost all the major public sector undertakings, whether they are from the oil energy sector, power generation sector, industry, railways, Central Public Works Department, Ministry of Urban Affairs, and to top it all, Defense. They are all the founding members of CIDC, and our board basically carries the senior most person from there. They grant you the consent. They accept your candidature. We will send you the details and documentation. I'm not going to be making any presentation because we are running out of time. But we have the database with us. We have your names, telephone numbers, email IDs. You will be receiving these documents about vendor registration, about Bachelor of Vocation program, and what exactly you have to do, and plus many more things. I would also encourage you to basically apply and participate in the National Recognition Awards. One more area that I haven't touched is basically the vertical of dispute resolution. I don't know any company, whether they are sitting here or sitting outside, who do not have a commercial dispute. You all have. How much time do they take to get solved? Couple of years? 5 years? What happens to the kind of money that has been put in the business? It is dormant. How are you going to be solving it? Please approach us. There is another organization that we have which is within our umbrella. This is known as Construction Industry Arbitration Council. I am inviting MECON, I am inviting all the vendors, all the service suppliers, EPC contractors to refer these cases to us. We will conduct the institutional conciliation or mediation and arbitration in a time bound manner. Please understand that the decisions taken by us, they have the quasi judicious authority. They will be adhered to and they'll be respected. Irony, what we have here, that we have everything available right here in this country. We have finest of the systems, but we don't basically use them. Introspect. Go and talk within your own organization. Nominate your own people who do not have a qualification. They should acquire the Bachelor of Vocation qualification. They should become field engineers. You get my point? And all the engineers who are here, and this goes to everyone in Mekong. Mr. Singh, your department, I'm talking to you. Please let all the engineers in Mekong know that they are going to be joining the National Register of Professional Engineers. We don't need theoretical engineers. We need professional engineers. 55 years ago, I had gone to study at IIT Kanpur. We were the 10th IIT. Mine was 10th batch, and 5 IITs were there. Do you realize? 100% of the teachers I was fortunate to get. These people had spent minimum 15 to 20 years in the field. They knew the field practices. They knew how to construct the things. They had been working with public works departments. They had been working in water supply departments. They had been working with many other organizations. And then on scholarships, they went to leading American universities, earned their PhD. Matured people, they came in and they basically taught boys like us. And they said that you sit in the class, but I'm going to be taking you out in the field. Let me invite Mr. Dikshit. I think both of us are going to be addressing. Since we are running short of time, I think we are fortunate to have you back again. Please come in. I have already given them a menu for action. Please go follow it up. You'll continue getting messages from us. Do join. Dikshit sir, would you like to say something?
No, actually, I'm just out of sync. I just come.
All right, I'll put you in the sink straight away. Not literally, I mean to say. I would like him to remain floating. All right. What I was talking to our friends here, there have been plenty of presentations and wonderful presentations. I told them that we are about to close. So let there be a summarized version of actions which they need to take. 4 or 5 things I've told them. One, prepare the human resources. We'll send you the details about Bachelor of Vocation program, which you are fully familiar with. We'll also ask them to join some of the professional bodies where they can basically expand their horizons. Some of them said that the research laboratories are taking hell lot of time before they are able to come back with some kind of certification, which is mandatory. And I said that we have the mandate in CIDC. We'll work with the universities, colleges, and things like that. So there are 2 locations where I've invited our friends, said that you can basically set up your industry park in Jharkhand Technical University. And this afternoon, while you were not there, CEO of Patna IIT was there, and he also has requested them to join and basically consider having the industry partnership. Let's begin with that relationship. You understand? And the last thing I told them, sir, is that the disputes that they have, and no corporate is there which is without disputes. We will be helping them to basically resolve the dispute through conciliation, mediation, and arbitration. And this applies to Macon and to everyone else. So work it out, refer to me, and we will basically take it through Construction Industry Arbitration Council. And the last thing, and probably the first thing which I told in the morning, that Macon and others here are engineers, and they should be joining the Register of Professional Engineers of Engineering Council of India. So these are all the things that I've said. Now I give it to you. My throat is also slightly off the track. Please.
And whatever you have told, uh, and then most of the things were also discussed in last conference, which we had a few months back. I think people have not understood it properly. That's why we did not get any response. But okay, let me tell our people about it. You can share, Majumdar Sahab can share some PPT sort of thing. So with that, we can explain things to various engineers. And in turn, if they are having any queries, those can be answered from your side. I think with that, we can make it move forward. I don't have anything other than this to say.
Thank you very much. I think this summarizes number
Thank you,
of
sir.
sessions that
Thank you,
you
sir.
had put in there.
There is actually one more session to conclude,
Oh, all
So,
right. And do you like?
thank you so much, sir.
Do you want both of us to be there, or
Sir,
we would be sitting there and watching, whatever you like?
so please, sir. So, I mean,
No, no. You are the master of ceremonies.
right, sir.
We should be sitting there.
So we'll be taking ahead all the audience for our next coming
All
sessions.
right. You
And
can go ahead. We are sitting here,
yes,
and
sir.
whenever
Yes,
you
sir.
need
Please,
our
please, sir.
intervention, We are at
Please,
your
please,
disposal.
please. We need your guidance, sir.
Go ahead. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Ah, yes.
Thank you, Dikshit, sir. With those visionary thoughts shared by Dr. Sarup, we now move forward to our next session, continuing the dialogue on innovation and sustainability in our industries. Uh, this session suggests collaboration, startups, and roadmap for Viksit Bharat 2047. The technical session will be chaired by Sri MSSN Murthy, Senior GM Electrical CRT, and Sri SK Mandal, GM Electrical CRT. I request them to please come on to the dais. The expert speakers for this session will be Dr. Sudhanshu Kumar Mishra and Dr. Subrat Kumar Swain and Mr. Abhishek Thakur from BIT Mishra, Dr. Arvind Kumar, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, RTC Institute of Technology, Ranchi, Sri Subrat Basu from Liveline. I would request all of them to be there in the stage for swiftly glazing through this particular session. Now I would hand over the proceedings to our chairman, sir, for this particular session, Mr. MSS Murthy, for proceeding forward. Just a correction. Mr. Mandal will start the proceeding first.
Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, S.K. Mandal, GM Electrical. My colleagues, Sri M.S.N. Murthy, Chairman of this session. Mr. Murthy is BTech from Andhra University. He has 33-year experience in different steel plant like flat plant, blast furnace, lime plant, and plant telecommunication, gas distribution, and infrastructure like BharatNet. Now, there are three presentation in this session. First uh, session is AI-based autonomous vehicle. Dr. Sudhanshu Kumar Mishra, Dr. Subroto Kumar Swain, and Mr. Abhishek Thakur from BIT Mishra. Dr. Mishra, he is the associate professor and head of the Department of Electrical and Electronics Department, BIT Mishra. Dr. Mishra has PhD from NIT Rourkela, and he has published international paper about 70 numbers and 6 PhD student and 20 book chapter. And Mr. Dr. Subroto Kumar Swain, he is PhD from South Korea, and his specialization is the shared control for the intelligent vehicle using model-based and model-free techniques. And his associate, Mr. Abhishek Thakur, he is the PhD scholar of Sri S.K. Mishra. Please, you can start your presentation. My side.
Okay, good afternoon to all of you. Um, okay, good afternoon to all of you. Uh, I'm going to actually give a very brief sort of a introduction on these intelligent vehicles. This is a very vast topic, and I'm not going to go very deep into it because there is something a sort of a gap between what academia and the industry is there. But this is something which I worked as to how it can be applied in industry and can be used in different applications, specifically in the automotive sector, so that we can also probably in the next 5 to 6 years we will be able to uh, come up to the trend what the specifically the foreign countries or the foreign companies that are actually working on right now. So it's more on the uh, specifically on the driver vehicle cooperation. So I'll be particularly focusing on certain aspects which I'll be looking into it right now. So this is my brief profile, uh, which has already been covered. Well, this is a very important slide. This particular slide actually teaches us about the human-machine interaction. Human-machine interaction is something like where the human and machine will work together in tandem. It's not that the machine will be, it's not something like the machine will be doing opposite to what human wants. We specifically, what we require in the current age is the machine has to cooperate with the human, not that the machine has to override the human. In most of the vehicles right now, whatever we probably see is that if the human is not giving any action, the machine overrides it. But that's what is going to actually happen in the distant future. But what is actually the current need? And probably we are migrating to the era where the machine will take care of everything. But as of now, what for the next 5 to 10 years, specifically the human and machine both has to work in tandem, or both have to work in cooperation. Okay, so if we look at the market of the human machine interactions, we can see that specifically in the year 2017 it was around 11 billion, which further rose to 27 billion in 2024, and it's forecasted to even rise more in the later years to come. So right now, this is the one which is the slides or the pictures which is there in the right side, which actually shows how the ADAS system, which is the advanced driver assistance systems, they actually in which the human and machine work together. Specifically, if you look at it on the that means on the picture below, the human is actually giving some sort of a direction. It's in front of a camera. So when it gives a direction in front of a camera, the camera identifies what the human intends to do, and automatically the machine helps the human in actually uh, going or in actually following the direction what the human wants. So machine is understanding the behavior of the human and is giving the instructions to the giving the instruction to the human to, and it's assisting the human in completing that particular task. That is what the future actually holds, and that is what we are supposed to do right now. Currently in the market, we are not having this technology where the machine understands the behavior of the human. As of now, the current vehicles, the with the advanced driver assistance systems, they are right now in the level 2 and level 3 automation, but that is also not all completely geared up. That means some of the features are still missing. Specifically, the intention recognition portion, where the human intention has to be actually identified by the machine, that is missing, and that is where the technologies has to be developed to make sure that this particular gap is properly addressed. Well, I'll go for the next one. So this is what is a very important thing. It's about the concept of shared control. This is something where the driver and automation actually cooperate with each other. So if you try to look into it, it's something like automation. If the vehicle is completely automated, it actually follows a certain trajectory, and that is being given by the green arrow. And if the vehicle completely is being owned by the driver, it actually follows another trajectory that is basically given by the red line. Now, what is shared control is where the driver and automation cooperate with each other to complete a particular task, where the driver actually respects the automation's signal, and the automation also understands the driver. So that is where the driver and automation cooperate to complete a task, and that's what is being shown by a blue line over there. Okay, so that is called as the shared control, and that is what is actually the topic which I am particularly discussing here in this presentation. So there are 5 levels of automation, which you can see it over here in this slide. The current techniques which are right now there, obviously we are going to go to the level 5, but in the Indian roads or in the Indian traffic system, attaining that level 5 automation is very difficult because of different heterogeneous traffic flying on the road. So therefore, in the current context, we are particularly focusing on the level 2 and level 3, where it is not completely manual and it is not completely automated. It is the combination of both driver and automation. So specifically level 2 and level 3 are the ones which we will be particularly focusing on. Now, these are some of the applications of this particular method. Is being used in different robotics, surgical applications, and in on the UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles. So, well, these are some of the technical sessions, technical things. I'm actually particularly looking into some of the important parts. See, the important thing is that the current works or in the industries also, and as far as in the current literature also, what we have seen is that uh, there are a lot of studies which have actually happened in human machine interaction or human machine cooperation, but those problems, those studies particularly focus on uh, driver contributing something and automation contributing something, but those values are very fixed. Okay, but that actually doesn't hold good in a practical scenario. For example, if you can take into consideration that if I am actually driving a vehicle on a road and I suddenly come to a point where I have to take some action, the automation actually it's something what I need is, if suppose the driver is completely careless, then automation has to alert the driver to take that particular action. Okay, so the driver, so it's right now most of the studies where it is mostly automation oriented, it is not giving the impetus to the driver. Our particular study should be the driver oriented driving, not the automation oriented driving completely, because if any sensor goes out, then it will be very difficult for the driver to take control of the entire vehicle. Therefore, it should be it should be a human oriented driving where the automation has to assist the human. And how is it going to actually help the industry? That is one aspect that I'm actually going to tell, is that these are the applications. If this particular vehicle were to be completely autonomous, then what will happen is that it can actually traverse in certain areas where it will be very difficult for the human to pass through, specifically in the mining areas where it will be very difficult for the human to pass through. Those autonomous vehicles can actually pass through it, and can collect some key information which is quite important for the humans to understand actually, or humans to know. So that is where these studies are important. And furthermore, these are some of the important shortcomings in the existing works or in the existing studies. The most important is that most of the studies, they actually don't follow the human like driving schemes. They particularly focus on the automation oriented approach, means human will not be doing anything, it will be completely automation which will be taking the task of the human. Okay, so what the study has to be more on human has to be given more priority, and automation has to be something assisting the human according to the need of the human. Okay, need of the driver. So automation has to understand the behavior and has to give the and has to that means support the human while driving process. Well, these are some of the solutions which actually we worked on it. And this is the most important part, was the driver vehicle cooperation using some using some game theoretic approaches. And this one was most important, where it was like the driver centric approach mimicking to that of an expert driver, where we are using some AI based techniques to identify the intention of the human or identify the behavior of the human. And the automation has to and automation will be, once the automation understands the behavior of the human, then what it will do is that it will assist the driver according to the requirement of it, according to its own requirement. So that's why we were using some AI based techniques, where it's like reinforcement learning based approaches, where we are using it. It's not that we are only going to use RL. We can use any one of the AI based technique, as long as it is properly trained to understand the behavior of the human, which is a little challenging task also. Because every driver, when he drives it, it's, even if I try to drive a vehicle right now, I'll be driving in a certain way. If I drive it in the second time, it will be in a different way. My driving is not consistent, so it will be quite a challenging task for to make it a very general solution. But a sort of a suboptimal solution will be something where I will be actually driving for, let's say, for around 15 or 20 rounds, or for around maybe 20 or 30 hours, and so that the machine will understand my behavior, as well as it will also understand the behavior of those drivers who are driving that particular vehicle for that many number of laps. In that way, we will be able to at least be able to identify the behavior of the driver, and the machine, once the behavior and the machine understands it, then we are able to get the solution. Okay, so these are some of the things which I will not be actually discussing very much, because it's more It's more mathematical and all those things. But I will particularly focus on some of the applications right now. Okay. So this was one of these particular application. I actually we implemented it on an actual vehicle, on a racing vehicle, and we implemented that this particular algorithm in that particular vehicle, and it worked to a certain limit of satisfaction, certain degree of satisfaction, and that's why actually we tried to propose this to uh, that means to different companies also to take in this particular solution, and this particular work was also appreciated in different platforms also. So anyways, this is a sort of a video which okay, this is a one of a video which I can't actually run it here. Uh, okay, it's not working. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, so this understanding the intention of the human is an important task, and for that, actually, what we try to do is that we specifically use different types of AI-based techniques to identify the intention, which is being shown over there, the human intention. Once the intention has been understood, then what will happen is that the automation will be updating the path what the driver wants to do. So what will happen is that automation understood the behavior. Automation actually tries to divert its own path towards towards that of the driver, and once that happens, then the driver and automation can cooperate with each other to complete that particular task, where the automation will be assisting the driver in the driving process. Okay, so these are some of my papers which has been done, and this is one of the vehicle which where we wanted to show a sort of a demonstration as to how we have implemented the algorithms here in an autonomous vehicle. And uh, yeah, yeah. Uh, can we run this particular slide?
Video. Yeah.
This is a video, please. Can we run it?
So how it is control and autonomous control both you can please explain for 1 minute.
And, so now here we can see that there are some those are the two obstacles right now. Okay, so this is just a sort of like a hardware type of prototype which we developed it. So this is a sort of two obstacles which are there in front of it. So now the thing is that the vehicle can have innumerable number of paths to actually avoid these two obstacles. It can either move right from the first obstacle and move left from the second obstacle, and also you can say avoid those obstacles, or it can actually take some other trajectory. So there are two important problems that are there are two important points to consider. One is the shortest distance problem, another is the shortest time problem. So in both these problems, if it is a shortest distance problem, then the vehicle probably might not be taking a left turn from the first obstacle and take a right turn from the second obstacle. It probably might take a different route, so that it will reach from point A to point B in shortest time. And but that same thing will not happen, will not be true for the shortest distance problem. Shortest distance will be a different route. Okay, so right now we will be showing a sort of a video where we can show like what is the path the vehicle is going to take in order to avoid the obstacle. So so here if you so here one can see is that if it is a double obstacle, the vehicle starting at from one point, it actually takes a trajectory to avoid the first obstacle, and it takes, instead of going straight, it is bending and it is moving to the left of the second obstacle. So this is classified as the shortest distance or shortest time. So it might be classified as the shortest time problem, because if the trajectories is to be completely straight, okay, if the trajectories is to be completely straight, the vehicle probably will not be able to. There are some of the other obstacles also in the straight path which we have not shown over here. So the vehicle is taking a trajectory which is avoiding it, and it is also avoiding the second obstacle.
Next slide was there.
No, this is a video. Okay, this is Yeah. So with this, actually, I've come to the end because there are so many slides and I won't be able to complete all. With this, I come to the end of the conclusion, end of the presentation. Thank you so much.
For the shortage of time, we could not complete that. But actually, we expected we should get at least 1 hour. Then 20 minutes we will anyhow complete that. So, sir explained that how an robot can be learned by either fully autonomous, it may be fully autonomous or maybe shared control autonomous. That robot is here. That initially we have trained the model, trained the robot by running it by ourselves, and then the robot will learn from that running, and that AI based model inside this controller will learn from our manual running, and it will learn itself, and a time will time come that it is matured enough to do its own decision. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Thank you, Dr. Soin, Dr. Mishra. It is very interesting subject, but time is limited. We are already late. Kindly meet the time schedule. Next speaker on this subject is the startup in AI, IoT, and robotics by Dr. Arvind Kumar, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Department, RTC Institute of Technology, Ranchi. Dr. Arvind Kumar is PhD from National Institute of Agartala, and his specialization is CAD and CAM and development of composite material and its machinery through NTM process. Now request to Dr. Arvind Kumar to present his presentation.
Thank you, sir. Respected session chair, Murthy sir and SK Mandal sir, other dignitaries and guests, organizers. I am Dr. Arvind Kumar, Assistant Professor in RTC Institute of Technology, Ranchi. Little bit brief about our college. RTC Institute of Technology is a now 17, 18 years old college, and we are running two courses, uh, BTech and Diploma. 7 courses in BTech, that is mechanical, civil engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, electrical and electronics and communication engineering, and CSE. In CSE, we have another two branch, that is AI/ML and cyber security. In diploma, we have mechanical, electrical, civil engineering, and CSE. Uh, Today, I'm thankful to the organizers that they have given me opportunity to stand here and present myself in this CIDC Mecon conference or New Generation Power Electrical and Automation Solution for Metal and Mining Industries. For the roadmap of Viksit Bharat, the very first thing and important thing is automation. And being a being an from academic institution, we always promote to our student to go for innovation and startup. And since in my college I am heading innovation council also, so this in this automation is the key factor for our Biksit Bharat. That is, recently we have heard that Prime Minister is telling ki, inviting others worldwide companies to come in India and make in India for the world. So he is just inviting the youth for go for innovation, startup, uh, for and have an opportunity for their career. So now automation in electrical sector. As we know that electrical sectors now they are incorporating control systems, sensors, software to operate with the minimum human interference in all span, that is generation, transmission, distribution. Uh, that's and applications are a smart grid, energy management system. The benefits are increased operation efficiency, reduced human error and downtime, enhanced safety and reliability, low maintenance cost with this automation. Now, role of emerging technologies in automation, there are many more are there, but these four technologies are playing a vital role. That is AI. First of all, AI. AI has now made a revolution in automation. That's first thing is the predictive maintenance and detection of the problems which are complicated in nature, rare in observation, which generally it was not in observations. Those